You wake up, you look under the sheet, and oh, what's this? We got a little friend here. Let's take care of it.
One
Fapping.
later.
You go to school and no girls are holding eye contact with you. This is embarrassing. Your friends make fun of you once again and you feel ashamed. You go to the gym after school and you can't even lift up the barbell. You go home, your family looks at you with shame. You finally go to your room and you try finding comfort once again through the virtual world. Let me tell you my story. I started fapping when I was about 13 to 14 years old. Starting at this age really messed up my mental health. Throughout all of high school, I literally just had one girlfriend and it literally just lasted a couple of weeks. Through fapping, I had really bad social interactions. I did not speak to any girls. I was really shy of them. And literally, I thought this would be like the highlight of my day. I thought it was like a reward for all of the work that I did. But as a matter of fact, it was just a punishment. It was literally like an easy way to find comfort and I would literally try to do it as much as possible. I would literally do it until my pee-pee didn't even work. That's how bad it got. I don't want you to do the same mistake. I want you to be better. I want you to focus on the bigger things in life. So this is why I'm gonna teach you some of the best ways to avoid nofap. And stick around until the end because the last piece of advice could really help you. The first thing you can do is avoiding bad distractions. Because we don't always just think about masturbating. Like we're just not in public and be like, hey dude, I want to bust a nut. We don't really do that. There's usually a stimulus that encourages us to do so. And it's mostly through social media. Either YouTube thumbnails, TikTok dances, or posts on Instagram. There's always something that gets us horny and in the mood. Literally all you have to do is cut that off. Stop using social media. There's literally no need for you to do so. Like I guess you could say that is to talk to your friends, but like if your friends really like you, they'll give them your phone number, and if you give them their phone number, there's really no way to get distracted in there. You don't really need to watch YouTube that much. Like I feel like it should be used as a learning platform. I really don't think people should be using it as a form of entertainment. There's some YouTubers who can do both, who can entertain you and educate you at the same time. Those are the type of people who you should watch. But always keep in mind who you watch. If there's some YouTubers who put girls in their thumbnails where they're like in a sexual position or a sexual angle, those are the ones that you shouldn't watch. They know that they shouldn't be doing that. They know that those are what gets men horny. But it's also the type of style that gets them to click on them. This is literally the most easy way to spot bad influencers. So literally the easiest way you can stop all these influences is literally to stop using social media. Just a waste of time, get off of it. Now when it comes to nofap, most of the time the advice that is given is have distractions, have goals. Find something that gets you from step thinking of it. And that can be nice, but people really think about it the wrong way. I feel like what people should be teaching is to get into the workflow. The workflow is pretty much what you are working and you're just thinking about work, where your mind is like constantly just thinking about work while doing it. If you can get into that, you'll be distracted on hours on end while also being productive. And if you take your goals really seriously and you spend more time in the workflow and reaching that goal, you'll start to think as fapping as a waste of time, which it is. So if you don't have a goal yet, set one. Either be your physique, either it be money making, either it be friendships, either it be storytelling, whatever goal you want to have, focus as hard as possible, get into the workflow, and if you do that, your lustful thoughts will be almost entirely gone throughout the whole period that you're working. Now one of the reasons why we fap is because we have life energy. And life energy is pretty much when you want to reproduce with somebody. And this is really replicated when it comes to porn because you're seeing somebody else do that. And every time you ejaculate to that, you're training your brain to like that, to be a cuck. And if you keep doing that, the chances of you actually mating with somebody is gonna keep getting lower and lower. Girls don't like guys who jack off. It's just unattractive. I mean, why would a girl want somebody who has low testosterone, poor mental health, and can't even control themselves? No, girls want guys that are full with masculine energy. And guys who have masculine energy don't fap because they keep it inside. They keep all that energy inside. So if you just stop fapping, specifically stop watching porn, actually, that's one of the first things that you should fix. Then once you fix that, then you should aim the goal of not fapping. I'll talk about your goals on how to set up your nofap in a bit, but first you have to keep in mind that if you ever get a girlfriend, you have to know that that'll also help you when it comes to semen retention because you probably want to save it for her instead of just, doing it. So yeah, keep that in mind. Let's talk about mental health. One of the reasons why most people fat is because they're either bored, sad, or lonely. If you have all of them, then you're in big trouble. I had all three. And the truth is, you can fix all of them. It's just a matter of you put the effort in. If you just get into self-improvement, it'll massively improve all of these. For example, if you're sad, you can fix your mental health by either meditating, gratitude, or going to the gym. If you're lonely, then self-improvement can help that as well, because a part of self-improvement is encouraging you to talk to others and make new friends. You have a strong friendship and a partner. That helps with your mental health. Even if you don't think so, having friends that you can rely on, support you, and motivate you is actually something that'll massively increase your mental health. That goes as well for having a partner. But when it comes to this regard, not everybody's gonna be able to do so. It's probably a higher chance that you're probably gonna have a group of friends. Just keep in mind that the group of friends that you do have are in self-improvement as well. And if you're bored, you easily can just fix that by just focusing on your work once again. Now, the fact that you're watching this video is increasing the chances that you won't fap again, because it increases your awareness. Having an overall awareness of nofap just automatically increases your chances of not doing it, because you know the consequences and you know the benefits. You know that the pros outweigh the cons. Like, have you ever had it when you're watching a self-improvement video and they talk about nofap, then you take their advice and you look back into your life and you're like, oh snap, I have been implementing these things. Your urge of fapping is gonna go down dramatically. Just for a period of time, but it will go down. You still have to control yourself. By just being aware of it is one step forward. Like, if most guys knew that it lowers your testosterone, messes your mental health, and it makes you overall unattractive, most guys wouldn't do it. But some people are just not knowledgeable. And it's mostly high schoolers. People who are just beginning high school, or people who are like not aware of the whole self-improvement movement, which is really rare nowadays because of Andrew Tate and other influencers out there who support this movement. But if there is somebody who is unaware of it, then they're probably more likely to do so because of lack of consequences. I was lucky enough to know about self-improvement recently. It was only last summer when I discovered self-improvement, and before that I really didn't see any, like, I knew it messes up with your mental health, but besides that I really didn't see any downsides to fapping. But now that I know that it actually gives you like a ton of negative downsides, I basically try to remove it overall together, and it is important to be aware of that. It is also really important to be aware of the type of situations that'll make you want to fap. For example, if you're home alone and you're watching a movie all by yourself and you're in your bed, that is a really high chance that you'll start fapping, because the situation is really there. Like, if you think about the situation where most people fap, it's mostly when they're alone. Like, you're not trying to make a lot of noise, you're trying to be discreet and not noticeable. This is for most situations. I can't speak with everybody, but I can say that the most situations are like the ones that I said, the ones where like you're quiet and there's nobody home. But the point that I'm trying to get at is that you should be aware of your own type of situation that will encourage you to do this kind of act. If you're more aware, that you can prepare for it and avoid it. For me, as an example, it's always when I'm alone and I'm in my bed. For some reason, my bed just really encourages me. I think it's because I stimulated my brain to always think about it whenever I'm in my bed. How I fixed this is simply just I stimulated my brain to literally read every time I get on my bed. I feel like if you stimulate your brain with another habit, you can break the old one. It's still gonna take some willpower to break the last bad habit, but if you replace it with a good habit, then the effort will be worth it. I also want you to know to be realistic with your goals when it comes to fapping, because let's be realistic, you're not gonna stop fapping forever. A man has his needs and he has to release them. It's actually considered healthy to release some of your seed by spiritual people. Like, some spiritual people have actually said that it's actually good for you. It's only a matter of how you release it that really counts. Like, I feel like if you do it through that course of intercourse, like with a female, I feel like, and like, you know, both of you guys are really loving towards each other, I feel like that is like the best way to do so. But not everybody's gonna be able to have that. But here's the thing, you can have that if you just get on nofap, if you just stop fapping less. So I want to tell you guys how you guys should have realistic goals. You should have them in a way where you know when you're gonna fap. Like, if you made the habit of doing it every day, you should try to lower that as slowly as possible. For example, if you do it every day, every week, you should start by having the goal of just doing it just fapping 5 days in a week. Then as time moves on, you move it to like 4 days, then 3 days, then 2 days. Then once you can do a whole week, you move into months. How many times do I fap in a month? That's how you should go about it. Small goals that'll build up over time. And don't feel too bad about yourself if you break your fapping streak, because as long as you made progress on the the example that I gave you, if you at least made a little bit of progress, then you really shouldn't feel bad about yourself. There's an example that Hamza made which I really like, which was, if you tell a fat guy to work out every day, and if he stops working out for 1 day, he loses all his progress. That really doesn't make sense, right? The same thing applies with NoFap. If you miss 1 day, it's not the end of the world, as long as you get back up and try again with a better attitude. There's also another example that Hansa gave that I'm a really big fan of, and I think is like the number one principle that you should implement, which was to change your mindset. Pretty much the example he gave was like, if there's two people, both of them are trying to quit drinking. A group of friends comes over and they offer both of them beers. One guy says, no thank you, I don't drink. And the other guy says, no sorry, I'm trying to quit drinking. The second guy is the guy who is most likely to drink that night. And the first guy, and is probably not gonna drink in that situation. The same applies with NoFap. If you just say that you're somebody who doesn't fap instead of someone who is trying to quit it, then you're probably gonna see yourself as more of a more higher up person, somebody who is more strong, somebody who's more self-disciplined. That is the type of mindset that you should have for the rest of your life. So I hope you guys implement all of the things I've said. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new or if you like my channel, and also make sure to live your life like there's no tomorrow.